much for being with me today. If this is your first time here, I'm Kimberly with Homegrown Motherhood, and I am so glad that you are joining me today. Thank you so much to Reading Eggs for sponsoring today's video. So today I'm going to be talking to you about Reading Eggs and their brand new Homeschool Max program. I'm going to show you what it is, how it works, and how easy it is to use as a homeschool program. So whether you're just starting out looking for a homeschool curriculum to use, or you're a current homeschooler looking to try something different or supplement your current curriculum options, you're going to want to stick around because I think you're going to like this. So Reading Eggs Homeschool Max is an all-in-one digital program from the creators of Reading Eggs. So this is designed for homeschoolers, and it has some award-winning early learning literacy programs. So we're talking math, science, and even some social studies program. It is all included in this all-in-one digital platform. It is a self-paced, interactive program designed for pre-K through 5th grade, although I think it would be great for special needs homeschoolers, or if you have older children who are struggling a little bit, it is great for them too. Your kids are going to love the fun animations and all the reward systems, and I, for one, am impressed how thorough and organized it is. So when I first heard about Reading Eggs, it was probably 6 years ago when I had a lovely busy toddler and I needed to focus on homeschooling my older children. I signed up for Reading Eggs to kind of keep her busy, and I didn't want her to give her busy work that was, mindless. I wanted to give her something that was actually beneficial and educational, and Reading Eggs was perfect for her. She learned so much as a toddler while I focused on my older students. So even if you're looking for something and you teach multiple children and you want something to keep your younger children busy and still have something educational for them to do, Reading Eggs is perfect. But with the Homeschool Max, it's actually turned into a full-on, all-in-one homeschool curriculum that you can do with your toddlers and your older students. So I'm excited to show this to you. But before we get started, I did want to talk about something as a Christian homeschool mom. Now, Reading Eggs is a secular program. However, it doesn't mean that it is not beneficial for Christian homeschoolers. So while Reading Eggs is not going to give you a biblical worldview, it's not going to shape your theology, it will help build a strong educational foundation when it comes to reading and literacy and math. All right, we're ready to break down all of the key features of Reading Eggs Homeschool Max. Let's go.
So let's take a look at the back end of Reading Eggs. So if you are familiar with Reading Eggs, you know that they have several different things that your kids can do. So starting out at Reading Eggs Junior from ages 2 to 5, and then they move on to Reading Eggs, which is ages 3 to 7, that teaches phonics and reading. Then you go on to Fast Phonics, which is ages 5 to 10, and that's just a lot of reading and decoding, but it also does teach reading. Then you have Reading Express for ages 7 to 13, so reading comprehension, reading fluency. And then you have Math Seeds, which is ages 3 to 9, and it just builds a really good foundational math skills for your kiddos. So if you keep scrolling down this section, you will see that they also include free worksheets and activities that match every lesson on the program. So you can switch between the Reading Eggs worksheets, the Fast Phonics, Reading Express, and Math Seeds. So let's just click on Reading Express and just see what one of the lessons look like. And you will see from this lesson, this worksheet covers everything learned, and you can print it out and have it be an extra thing that your child does to help them with retaining the information. Okay, so we're back on the dashboard, and as you can see, you can also purchase physical books in the bookshop if you wanted to also have some workbooks for your kids to do. Now, before getting started, you are able to do a placement test for each one of your children. You will simply just scroll down and do the placement test. And if you feel like the placement test isn't quite where you think they should be, then you're able to adjust the level to the proper place that you would like for your kids to be. So let's just take a look at this. So if you're familiar with Reading Eggs, this is actually on the desktop version, but you can also download it in any app store. So if you have an iPhone or an Android or any type of device that you can download it on, you can do that. So they can do it on the tablet or a phone as well. So once inside, you can see it has everything that we just saw, and they can go in and go to the section that they are working on. So if they're working on Reading Express, you would just have them go there, or the Reading Eggs or the Math Seeds, or if you have a little one, they can go down here to the Reading Eggs Junior or Fast Phonics. So it's all there under their dashboard. And then they have a new section for a library. So let's go there. Inside of this library, you can search each of the sections and the genres for books. So let's say you wanted to read a book on space, you would click on that, and then all of the titles of the books that are in that section will come up. So once you have the book that you wanted, you can see that it's all laid out as far as the chapters, and then they can start reading through those books at their own pace. And then, as you can see, it has a quiz from the first chapter that they can be quizzed on to see how far they're retaining the information. So it's actually pretty cool. So here we are on Fast Phonics, and it's so cute. So let's just click on and see what happens with the treasure chest and the cute little Yeti. And so you just go in and you press play. So as they go along their journey on this map, they have the ability to earn rewards with the treasure chest, and it's just a really fun process for them to go through. So, with Reading Eggs and Fast Phonics, your kids will be building phonemic awareness step by step. So, the kids are going to earn golden eggs, play games, get instant feedback. It's phonics rich, so it's not just, sight words. So, it's going to help build a really solid language foundation, which I really love. So when it comes to Reading Express, it's a little bit different. So it's going to move beyond and do some decoding and focus on fluency, vocabulary, spelling, comprehension. So it's going to be great for your older kiddos and those who need the extra reading support. So now let's go check out Math Seeds. So Math Seeds is a great place to learn math skills. It has great visuals and has scaffolded instructions to help your kiddo master number sense, operations, time, money, shapes, and so much more. So let's go here to the mental minute. So as you can see here, they can choose between addition and subtraction or multiplication and division, and they can go in and see how fast they can do it in the time that they have. So now that we've briefly covered everything here, you can see that it's an engaging format. And let's face it, sometimes our kids need a little bit of a screen option that isn't mindless. So this one is colorful, it's fun, it's gamified, but it's also educational through and through. Okay, so now for the Homeschool Max feature, you will just go right here to this tab that says new. It's going to have all of the features that makes Reading Eggs a full on homeschool curriculum. So you click on the tab and it takes you to these three sections. So the Homeschool Max dashboard, the homeschool guides, and the webinars. Let's first check out the homeschool guides, and it basically has everything laid out for you week by week for all of the levels. So kindergarten through fifth grade, for the language arts, math, science, social studies, it has everything that you need here. So let's take a look at, let's try year 3. And as you can see, it's going to have everything you need week by week. So you can easily print this out and put it in a binder. It doesn't leave you guessing. It has everything on what to expect. So it's laid out color coded so you won't feel like you're not knowing what to do. So everything is here and has what you need. So let's scroll down to the science books. So for this guide, it's basically laying out everything you need for science. Has all the levels and age levels that you need, the titles, and it just makes it so easy for you, and it lays it out great. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the webinars. And basically, these are just a tool to help you get further step by step directions if you need help with going through the program and the dashboard. Now, let's go over to the Homeschool Max dashboard. Okay, friends, so here it is. It is so cool that they put this together to make Reading Eggs into a full all-in-one program for homeschoolers. So I will go through the left-hand side menu, as well as this section. So you have the three main programs here. So the Reading Eggs, Reading Express, and the Fast Phonics. Then you're able to create assignments, reporting, lesson resources, library dashboard. So if you click on either of these, it's going to take you to your children's profile. And then when you click on it, it's going to take them to their own personal dashboard. So you can have access to it directly from the Homeschool Max. So we're not going to go into that. But I will show you how you can create assignments for either one of those programs. So let's just go into Reading Express, and you can choose whoever you want to assign something to. So if you see, if I click this, this is going to change the name over here. So I can do all, or I can do one, two. You can just do however you would like. And you can arrange the date and how many days you want them to take to finish it once they start. And then you can choose an activity. So let's just say I'm going to do it for Hulk, and then I'm going to have a 4-day week that we have. And then I'm going to select, let's say, a spelling lesson, and then grade 3. And then I want him to start on 3.5. And then I'm going to create the assignment. So he's going to have this, and then I can manage it or create more. So if I go to manage the assignments, it's going to have everything pulled up here so I can keep an eye on it. So if he's completed it, it's going to show his score, and it's going to say how many assignments that he's completed. So far I only have one assigned, but if he were to complete it, it will say 1 out of 1. So if you have 5 assignments assigned and he completed 2, it's going to say 2 out of 5. So you can do that with all of the programs to create an assignment. Now let's go on to the reporting. Let's try Reading Eggs this time. And once everything is done, lessons are completed, once they do a assessment to see what level they are on, all of those will go here. So all of that will be recorded data that will go here. So the average Lexile growth, map quiz scores, reading lesson progress, all of that will be located here in a quick and easy way so you can keep track of everything. Now, the lesson resources, which I really like this because it helps you see what they're working on each level. So this one is for the fast phonics. So on peak 1, this is what they're going to be learning. And you can click here, and it also will take you to other resources. So for handwriting, this is something that you can print off to give extra reinforcement when they're done with that lesson. So let's say you assigned peak 1 for the day, and then you printed out this resource for them to do either the next day or same day, or however you want to set up those assignments. It makes it easy so you can keep track of what's going on. So quick and easy things to print. Then it'll also have some phonics things that they can learn and work on after they complete that peak. And then if you're teaching multiple students, you can click on this, which is a teaching slide deck, and it'll actually download the whole thing. So I'm not going to click on it here. But if you wanted to do like a slideshow presentation, it'll have the slide deck here, and then also the weekly teaching guide here, which again, it does not leave out any information. So you are going to be in the know to know every single thing that's going to be worked on so that you are ahead of the game or you're prepared and you know what to expect. So it makes it super simple. Now, if you wanted to preview it, it's going to allow you to see what they are going to work on. So this will just go through the lesson as a video. It's not going to let you, do the video or do the lesson, but it's going to give you a sneak peek of what to expect and how they're going to do that. Okay, so let's move on to the teacher library. So this is going to help you find books and assigned books for your children to read for their assignments. And so once you click on it, it's going to have an entire collection of books. So, what I like about this is it is going to let you filter by the type of reading measure that you want to use for your kids. So, they have the Lexile, reading level, R&R, reading age, F&P, A through Z, DRA, grade level. So, it leaves it so flexible that you can choose whatever fits your child the best. So if you want to go based strictly on grade level, you can do that. If you want to go based on how old they are, you can do that. Or if you know their Lexile level or their F&P level, you can choose whatever it is that you think fits your child the best. And I love that it gives you so many options. So let's just keep it at the Lexile level. And you can see the BR range, the 10L through 20L range, all of those books within that range. And then you can click whatever level that you want. So let's just say I'm going to choose this as a nonfiction book, and I'm going to assign it as a read aloud fluency book. And I am going to assign that for, let's just say, for this child, and I'm going to give that child 2 days to do it. I could also see what that book looks like just to give it a preview, and then it will allow you to go through the book to preview it. And then when this is on the child's end, it will give the child an option to be read to or turned off and allow the child to read. So again, you can use that as your at your discretion. So if this was clicked as soon as you turn the page, it's going to read it to you. I'm not sure if you can hear that. My speaker may be a little bit too low, but it is reading to the child. But if your child is able to read this, it can 100% stay off and your child is able to read through it. Okay, and then the family dashboard, again, self explanatory for this one. It'll just allow you to manage everything your subscription, update payments, details, children, etc. Now let's go back up here and start over here. So let's start with reading catch up. These are all the books that you can assign or download for your children if they need some extra help for catch up. So let's just say we're going to do this one. You can download it, then you can print it off so that your child is able to go through the things that they need to go through. And you can help kind of do this as a review. Now let's check out the teacher's toolkit. So you see K through 2, 3 through 4, 5 through 6, big books and curriculum maps. Let's just check out 3 through 4 real quick. And this is going to give you, again, all types of resources that you can go through, which is going to help prepare you with that particular level. Let's click on the student worksheets just to take a look and see what that looks like. And again, it makes it so simple. Your lesson planning, you can just go through and pick and choose the things that you want to download for your children to use. Now let's go and check out the teacher's notes. So once you download those worksheets, this is going to help you and prepare you on the things that you need to focus on with your kids. So as you can see, it's going to tell you these words need constant revision and reinforcement. So it's just going to give you an idea of what words to focus on the most with your children for that level. Now let's go to the big books. So these are sorted by level. So these big books, let's click on this one. And it is the similar setup. So you can have it read to them, or you can click it off and your child can read through it, or you can read through it with your child. Now let's go through to the curriculum maps. Now, I really love this section because it's going to give you state standards and also correlation charts for the programs. So again, you're not missing anything. You don't have to guess what needs to be done, and if it's meeting all of the criteria for specific states, is going to lay it all out for you. So for example, if you lived in Ohio, it's just going to show you that this program is meeting all of those standards. It's going to have the codes that it's meeting, and it's just going to give you that peace of mind that, yeah, Reading Eggs is a little gamified, but you know what? It's not in vain. Your children are going to be learning the things that they need to help them meet the state standards. So let's go and check out the correlation chart. Now, again, this is going to have those reading levels as well. So depending on which reading level that you choose to use for your children, if your child was in kindergarten, year 1, year 2, and so on, you can choose where they can start with the reading level. So let's just say you have an advanced reader and they are the age of a 3rd grader, but they're reading at a 5th grade level. You can easily find the range you need and pick and choose where you want that child to be. It just makes it so simple. Okay, now let's go to the printables library, and everything is laid out by grade. This time, let's check out something from math. Again, everything's laid out by grade, and you can also choose what you would like to focus on. So let's go with geometry. So here's the geometry student book. Again, this is so easy to just print out. I'm loving the ease of use for this, and it makes it so attainable and accessible for homeschool parents to just have something for their children that is meeting state standards, and it just makes it really simple. So if this is a full-on workbook with 49 pages, guys. So that's something you can, go to Walmart, but not be sure that the ones you're getting from Walmart are meeting state standards. Well, this is giving it to you. Everything in this program is going to be meeting state standards. So you are reassured that every single principle that you're going to be printing out is not just busy work. They're actually going to be learning, and they're actually going to be completing assignments that is meeting state standards. So I am a big fan of that. Now, moving along to the teacher's library, you can find books for your children to read. So, depending on what you want for your student, you can search through it. So, it also gives you collections. So, if you find a book and you want to save it, you can put it in favorites, or you can put it in a new collection. So, this collection in particular is for Clover. 2 books are saved. It makes it easy to organize child by child. So you can save books for each child as well. And they also have an ability to do shared collections. So if you wanted your children to share multiple books that they all can read, you can also create a shared collection. So real quick, let me show you how to create a collection. So just to title this, I'm going to do for the next child. And then I am going to find some books. So if I scroll through and find the book that this particular child would enjoy, I am going to choose. Let's try this. So I am going to hit the plus and I am going to add it to this child. And then if there's another book that I think he may want to read later, I'm just going to put some hearts on them. And then once I see another book, I'm going to add that to that particular collection. So let's go back to my collection. And as you can see, I have the 2 books that I added right here. Now let's move on to management. I can manage students, manage progress, and I can also hand out certificates. If you click on Manage Students, it's going to take you to the main Reading Eggs dashboard. If you click on Manage Progress, it's going to give you a handy grade by grade guide just to check your students' placement to see how that is going. So they'll have it for Reading Eggs, Reading Express, and Fast Phonics. So I'll have it for all 3. Now, for certificates, you can hand out your children certificates when they complete a level. And it just makes it so fun that they are seeing the progress that is being made through each level. So you have, again, all 3 here that you can assign your children a certificate. So for the lessons tab, you have all of these 3 maps and lessons here that you can go in and assign for your child. So let's say you wanted to have them start at this level. You can preview it, and then it has the resources here that you can have for that child. Now, for the assignments, you can go over and manage the assignments, the current and the past assignments, and you have your children here that you can also manage. But then you can also create a new assignment. Let's just do this. You can choose an activity. Let's go through a spelling lesson for that level, and you can create that assignment. And if you wanted to have the driving lesson test, which is really fun, you can assign that here as well, and create that assignment. Now let's go to manage that assignment. And again, you will be kept in the know with all the details here for that child. So the summary is just going to show you a summary report. You can look at it on the teachers tab or the students tab, and it's just going to tell you how many times they're spending on it, how many lessons are complete, as well as the growth for the reading that you chose for them to do. Now, the task on time, which I really like because it's going to give you a chart to see how well your children are staying on task, how much time they're spending in the program, how many hours they're spending on it, how many average minutes that they're spending in the lesson. I really, really like that. So it's going to show you kind of if they're able to stay on task and how much time they're spending on that. So let's go to the standard performance. So I have not set this up yet, but basically I wanted to show you what you would do. So this is basically going to allow you to set your standards for your state. So it will give you the academic standards for the United States, and it will go through by state, and you can choose exactly which state standards you want to choose. And so once you have that set, it's going to, let me go back here. Once you have that set, it's going to give you a whole chart to see if the students are meeting that particular standard, if they're performing for the standard for your state. So I can really appreciate that new feature. Okay, so now let's move on to the lesson performance of individual students. So again, I have not selected the standards, but once you select your standards for your state, it will give you those individual performance standards right there. Now, moving on, basically all of these under the reports tab is going to give you a detailed report on how your children are doing in each of these sections. So the map quizzes, the driving tests, all the way down to the whole program, it's going to give you detailed reports for your students. Okay, so that was the Reading Eggs portion. Basically, it goes the same thing for Reading Express and fast phonics. Okay, so we've taken care of these three. Now let's go up here to the math tab, and that's going to take us to math seeds. And again, it's basically the same thing that I just laid out for the reading section. It's going to give you your teacher toolkits. It's going to have your printables library, and it's going to have everything that you can manage as well as the lessons, assignments, and reports. It makes it super easy for you to homeschool your kids, and I am thoroughly impressed with this system.
So if you're looking for something educational, engaging, and structured, Reading Eggs Homeschool Max just could be the right fit for you. So let me know in the comments if you've tried Reading Eggs Homeschool Max or just even the regular Reading Eggs program. Let me know down in the comments. Also, let me know if you have any questions or if I didn't cover anything so I can answer some questions down below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you watch this whole video, please leave me a tulip in the comments, and I will see you next time, friend. Bye.